have to get up like 7 hours before the cosplay contest to actually apply body paint.
7 hours?
Yes, because it takes really long.
I haven't even been awake that long.
You're still hoping for Mirana.
Okay, I think this might be the.
让我们把掌声送给所有的 coser。
I'm wondering where are his eyes? Like where is he looking through?
Maybe the mouth? But yeah, I agree.
That's crazy. Like the paint job and all the parts with the details.
What do you usually
The shoulders.
So I've watched some like videos on Twitter of people making cosplay, and they like take like this like I don't even know what
Like a white foam?
It's like a foam, right?
Foam.
And it like gets hardened, like you like heat it up and it gets hardened. Is that how they make most of it?
No, this is Warbler, like what you're talking.
Yes.
But this is like not that popular anymore.
Oh, okay.
Like almost everything is now like made of like craft foam because it's very light, easy to work with, and also your costume is not that heavy at the end.
Okay.
So that's
all right. Well, congratulations to everybody in the cosplay competition. Now we're gonna be jumping down to the floor with Casey and Slacks.
Look at all this. This is amazing. These are some of the best cosplays we've seen ever.
I gotta say, I've been to a lot of cosplay competitions. Any one of those could have been a winner at any other one. I can't believe they were all here. The Chinese community, man, they love cosplay. It's nuts.
Nuts!
Yes, but, you know, we've been having some fun with this. We could have a little bit more fun. I've got a little blooper outtake reel from one of the teams at EG. Okay. A lot of fun. I will say, mature content. Children at home, cover your eyes, cover your ears, because there's a lot of naughty words in this one.
Howdy, y'all. Who done ready for some of that Dota 2? Yeah!
This reminds me of 8th grade in drama class.
I keep pointing at you and doing this.
What the fuck is air quotes? There was a lot of talk about evil geniuses not being a...
Esports teams always have drama. Sometimes
Sometimes it's real. You talk.
you, Jay.
Sam, you.
You. Okay.
Hey, sorry about that, your hoser. I want some fresh avocado up in this one.
I can't stop smiling 1 second.
We'll draw the sandwich here. Do what I said. One more time. Get the f***ing camera out of here, holy shit.
Well, as I told you, some fun guys. We will miss EG from the tournament, but we still got some great teams left.
Yeah, it was really fun to see. I think throughout the entire tournament, it's fun to see the human side of these players. Like, these are guys who play at such a high level. It's easy to forget that they have funny sides, emotional sides, and it's what makes this community so great.
Absolutely. But funny side and emotional side is over because we got 2 of the best teams in the world coming up for you. Guys at the panel, let's get this thing started.
Yes, let's get this thing started indeed. Thank you so much, Casey Slacks. And I'm sure we'll be seeing a lot more, but I am very excited to get this next series started here with BlizzCap and Grant. Gentlemen, we got some time to break this one down. So let's get into it. Grant, when you think of Team Secret and Team Liquid facing each other on the main stage, where does your head go to first?
I mean, you just say that, and I'm just thinking 2 of the best teams in the world. Like, these are world-class organizations, world-class players. You can't just pick a player out of there. It's like, this guy's not tier 1. They're all super, super good, and it's great that they're in the top 4. Like, Liquid, they're 7-0 on the stage right now. That's probably what comes to mind first. They just haven't lost.
For the last 2 years, they have been like the leaders of Western Dota.
Yeah.
OG, you know, they showed up at TI last year, and they've obviously shown up at TI this year. But for most of the DPC season, it's Liquid and Secret that you're turning to as the front runners.
It really is. I must say, though, you mentioned last time they faced on the stage, or rather last time Liquid was playing on the stage, you know, they're 7-0. Last time Team Secret and Liquid were on this very stage in the Mercedes-Benz Arena. It was the grand finals of the Shanghai Major. Let's.
Oh, don't remind me of that. It was a rough time, let me just say.
Oh, you guys got spanked.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah. You know, the Dota that was played was great, though.
Yeah.
Oh, no, we only won 1 game, man.
Yeah.
It wasn't too... All right, here's what happened.
Yeah, was it great, though? We casted that final, too.
For people unaware, Will was the coach of Liquid at that time.
Yeah, and we felt great, too. What ended up happening was we go into game 4, and I was like, what are we doing? And Kuro was like, I have no idea. And we picked Dro. I talked to Boba. I was like, oh, what was the Dro about? And he's like, we're out of ideas. There's nothing left in the gas tank, because the problem is we started in the lower bracket after losing to MVP. Once you have to make that climb, everyone starts figuring you out, and every potential opponent on the way is just danger. You have to, there's no holding back strats, there's anything you have left in the tank, you empty out, you try not to worry about what the finish line looks like, and it's just exhausting from a mental perspective. And so we last picked Dro. We have we've never played it before. The Slark Doom was too strong from Team Secret. They had a concept that was really hard to beat.
That was Liquid from the lower bracket. We have seen them later on in their career again make a run in the lower bracket and finishing first at the international, actually, through the lower bracket. Right now, as Grant says, 7-0. They have not yet been figured out. They have not dropped a single game after a pretty abysmal group stage. I think that's fair to say.
No, definitely. I mean, just them being in the losers bracket, it doesn't matter how many games they won, just them being in the losers bracket, I think, was a super big disappointment for Liquid and probably most of their fans, right? I mean, you're Liquid. You should be in that upper bracket.
You really should. What's up?
Oh, there was something that Mo said to me about, because before this event, he said, what do you think we're going to get? I was like, maybe you can get to the finals, but I laughed and I said, you're losing the Secret. Because I was sure that Secret was going to win this event. I said, you're losing the Secret. And he told me, he said, if we're in the finals in a best of 5, yes, I think we will lose to Secret. He says, but if we meet them any time before that, we're going to win.
Ooh.
I can't believe the situation's actually happening. He said, if we meet them beforehand, he said, we're going to win.
Okay.
Well, I do have to also say something here, because you know there is obviously a lot of history with the players and all that, but before we even get to that, the last 2 internationals, 2017, 2018, Secret got eliminated before their time, or at least that's what a lot of people will say, considering their potential going into the tournament. And which team eliminated them both times previous? Team Liquid.
That's crazy.
Every time. In the lower bracket, they meet.
That's what he said.
Secret's out.
Anytime before the finals. He said, we want to play them before the finals, knock them out before they reach full strength.
That is crazy, though, because what is there such a massive difference from a best of 5 and a best of 3?
Yeah, it's the extra game or two, just simply because Secret have that depth that they've shown throughout the entire DPC season. I mean, that was always like Secret's strength, right? It's the fact that they're able to play everything, right?
I'm not sure. I think I think Liquid believes in history, especially Kuro. I think he believes in like the idea of like it's destined to happen, and once it is, like he knows how it'll happen, and like that's what gives him like this weird confidence.
And it can get in your head. Like that stuff can definitely get to you.
Now, when you talk about Dota 2 rivalries, everybody at the moment thinks of No2 and Fly. But before that, there was a bigger one, and there still is a bigger one. Because you got Kuroki and Puppy. There's a lot of history for those players just alone. Both players have made it to all 9 internationals, which is mad, by the way. And before that, they were already playing Dota 1. They have had a career from over a decade. They play together a lot.
Yeah, they did. I actually was lucky enough back in Dota 1. Look at that. I mean,
that is, yeah.
Someone's breaking 200 no matter what.
No matter what. Someone's going to break 200. That is crazy. That is such a high number.
And these guys really haven't changed that much. I actually was very lucky back when, you know, I was playing with Merlini in like 2009. Like he invited me to play it, just stand in, scrimmed a couple times with, I believe it was Kuroki, Puppy, Azin, Merlini, and me. And just, I was there and I'm just like, what the hell's going on? And it's just funny. They're just normal people, just like us, though.
What the hell's going on? He says, I can tell you what's going on right now. The players are ready to take the stage. Team Secret is a favorite coming into the International 2019, or maybe they were the favorite, because even though they crushed it in the group stage, they did show some weakness on the main stage, dropping down to the lower bracket, having some tough matches against a lot of different opponents. Although this morning when they played Vici Gaming, it felt like something had changed, something has clicked. I feel like this Team Secret is ready to face their ultimate challenge so far. Team Liquid. Team Liquid has quite the opposite story at this event so far. The International 2019 was not kind to them at the start, but ever since main stage, ever since they got on that stage, got in those pods, they started playing some Dota in front of all these Dota 2 fans. They are an entirely different beast, and they are crushing it. They are basically slaying their way to the top with ease, already making it to a top 4 right here at the International 2019. And I know that a lot of people have seen the following interview quite a few times already, but when you're having a matchup between Poppy and Kuroky, you need to see this again.
And then there were two. They're the only two people here who have been to every single TI.
I mean, I think it's really cool that it's us two.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely a big thing to us. There's no way it's not.
What do you remember about your first TI? Because both of your experiences couldn't be more different. You came in and lost all of the games.
Yeah, it was great.
You came in and won all of the games.
I just scrambled a team and Dota 2 came out and some of my teammates thought it's not a serious thing.
For us, it was just like a test. If we're actually the best team, we should be able to win this.
And when did you first meet? Do you remember?
We met first in 2008. Yeah, we played together the LAN tournament DreamHack.
And then I'm like the tallest man he's ever met or something, but he already knew that because I was in pictures.
It was like a rocking, like a good hairstyle.
You had long hair?
Yeah.
Hang on, I'm gonna look that up.
You were 16, I was 18.
16, yeah.
Oh my God.
Usually people with that hair say Led Zeppelin or something like that, you know? What? What's wrong with it?
No, nothing's wrong with it. I think it's
jaw-dropping.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, look at that scarf. What a terrible decision.
But yeah, to answer your question, that's when we first met. And we played, and we were like, hey, like we like each other, the way we play, or we're smart about the game. Let's make a team together, and that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there was a mutual respect, kind of right off the bat.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. By TI3, you're both on Navi. What was it like to actually be there playing a TI on the same team?
I came with no expectations, personally, and we just did very well. I mean, we were so close to win.
Alliance were quite a dominant team, and their meta was like invincible during that time. There was no beating it. You would just have to copy it.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
They were the best. I mean, what Alliance did is, till today, it has an effect of how Dota changed. They just broke the game apart and reinvented the game in a lot of ways.
What made you decide to leave Navi together and form Secret?
You know, okay, we got like second place at TI3. We almost won it, but it wasn't a happy moment for us during the grand finals. There was a lot of conversation between players and stuff, and it was not nice.
Poppy and I are just extremely ambitious, I would say. And when we feel like it's not being followed up by our teammates, you know, we'll go forward. We're going to keep going forward in this game, and just came to that point.
So what do you think happened in TI5? You were heavily favored when you came in. I think you finished 7th. Didn't do so great. And then you decided not to play on the same team anymore.
I think there's a Dota part and the human part. I think Dota-wise, we were not prepared to win.
Team had weak chemistry, to be honest.
Yeah, for sure.
We were actually all the best players, I would say, individually.
Yeah. It was just a raw skill team.
Especially in that team where we all knew that we're all really good, criticizing is a hard thing to do.
Yeah.
You're always bottling in, kind of like, all right, I can't say that or something. You just keep bottling until it explodes, and it did. Good for us.
I mean, good experience, you know. Made us stronger.
Made us stronger.
And I mean, this is the thing we're giving to our new teammates. This is why Puppy can lead like one of the best teams in the world.
Right.
Like, he's teaching them like how to deal with problems and all the things we failed in TI5, maybe even TI4 or whatever. We learned, and we're good at conveying this message.
So were you guys always friends, or did that kind of start a little bit of strife between you guys, or did you leave on good terms?
Not good terms, I would say.
No.
I'm sure that was my toughest time of all in like my career. To look back, we needed to part ways.
Yeah, I think we're both happy where we're at nowadays.
Yeah.
And we already talked a lot about our problems, whatever. It's just like, I don't know, like it's life. It's, you know, we spend so much time together in this game. This game is intense, a very intense game. Emotions go very high. It's not just friendship, it's friendship and business.
How did you become friends again?
After time.
Are we friends?
We just go to yeah. Cut the camera. Take that one.
Happy to be here.
Me too.
And it's cool that we're doing this.
Yeah, it is really cool.
It is really cool that they are doing this on the main stage here in front of a crowd. Team Liquid, Team Secret, both these captains extremely ambitious, as they said. And actually, I want to point out that that broken up friendship resulted in one being a TI champion and the other one not yet, maybe. You know, still successful though.
Yeah, super dominant. And I think that, you know, it's funny just the way that Casey prefaces the question, right? It's like there's the expectation that like everything will resolve itself. But the thing is that Dota is such an intense experience. And sometimes your friendships can go through experiences that break them. And it's not very easy to put them back together. And, you know, that's okay. Sometimes these experiences get broken down, and it is something that both Kuro and Puppy have learned from. And now they've become some of the best leaders that Dota 2 has. So
Maybe not best friends, but definitely respecting of each other.
For sure, yeah.
Absolutely.
Guys, what is going to be the most important thing in this matchup? Because we talk a lot about, you know, experience, mental warfare in the case of OG mostly. What is the most important factor in this game? Is it going to be the heroes? Is it going to be the mindset? What are we looking for here, Grant?
I think it goes like hero-wise. I think it's just play style, right? We actually saw through most of the early stages of Secret's tournament, they were just drafting the Omega late game. And then in the last series, they're fine playing early game. And I think it goes back to Blitz talking about BO3, BO5. They're showing they can play every single style of Dota. So it's, do we want to play early game? Do we want to play late game?
That is the question. Any final words, Will?
Let's not see Alk Chen again. I'm good with this. LGD showed you. It's all good.
All right. It is time. Game 1 is about to kick off here between Team Liquid and Team Secret on the main stage of the Mercedes-Benz Arena.
Team Liquid versus Team Secret. Game 1.
Welcome to this excellent game 1 of this super important draft here, guys. What are the main points that we're going to be focusing on here?
Oh, well, I don't know where to start, man. I still have a bit of jitters, honestly. It was, I almost forgot to come do my job, but...
But you're here. It's fine. So what do you got now?
Oh, man. These teams know each other well, right? Kuro and Puppy, they've played together at 3 TIs. There's history here. They're the only 2 players that have been at every single one. Like, you gotta look now at like the legacy of these teams, of these players, because it's not about the meta anymore. It's about, all right, what do we believe in? And I honestly don't know. I'm surprised. Yeah, there you go. They let the Wisp through.
I mean, there's a lot of really strong heroes right now that feel like auto wins, right? You got like Wisp, Alchemist feels too good, Tiny's extremely good, maybe not first round ban, Enchantress is super good, so you gotta let somebody through, right?
Even Chen for good Chen teams.
Yeah, that's true.
But Wisp of all heroes.
Yeah.
Like this is the one, you know, people trying to theory craft, what do we ban against OG? You know, Wisp is a must, you think about, but...
Do you feel like do you feel like any teams have really given countering IO a good try, though? It kind of feels like they draft lineups, but they're not like, okay, we got to beat the IO. I don't necessarily know what it is, but there's got to be something you can do, right? There's an example, Chen. You can take over the neutral creep that he's tied to. Yep. It's going to force him to tether to somebody that's slower. It's going to leave him defenseless in the early game, potentially, if you gank him. That's one option.
It's true.
It used to be like the good heroes were heroes that were good against like two, right? Like Grimstroke and Ember, these heroes that have like a double spell built in. But now this Wisp doesn't need another hero. He gets Ags and a creep, and there's no other heroes for you to link to, and he's just dealing, you know, hundreds of magic damage per second.
Yeah, it's pretty insane. I'm not surprised to see the Tide Hunter as well picked up by Liquid. Every game where it's available, they tend to go for it. Earlier in the tournament, it was a second phase for them. Now, you know, main stage, you want to make sure you've got that AoE lockdown that your draft's going to need. And one of the better ways to counter against a Wisp, although this is traditionally you only conceptualize Wisp as a 4 position, whereas now it's most likely to carry. You want to have team fight. You want to prevent the Wisp from being able to play other ends of the map so that you're always able to press your advantages 5.
So Secret, I think they played Omni in their first series today. They did Omni Bristle as their 2 cores. I think Omni Wisp is kind of a similar idea. You have this really tanky strength core, and you make him tankier.
It's going to be a lot harder to kill him too, because status resistance is halved, so combo initiations against him is less likely to work.
And bursting this Wisp is really hard. Overcharge, you have so much damage reduction.
And if you try to get somebody else, IO's probably going to tether to that guy, give him overcharge, and then if the Omni heals the IO, they get extra heal. There's just a lot of cool combos with it. But what's a weakness, though?
It depends on how they finish the draft, really, because these 2 heroes are arguably the best at supporting in a lineup. And the cool thing about it is we don't know what role either of these heroes are. It could be a traditional Wisp. It could be a carry Wisp. That could be a Puppy Omni Knight. It could be a mid one Omni Knight. We actually have no idea.
I think it's not a mid one Omni Knight, but it could be a mid one Wisp. I think he's played that before. I've seen him playing in pubs. I think like Oracle is one of the heroes that you would think are good against these 2, right? If there wasn't a Chen. You have the Fate's Edict to kind of defend against the, you know, the balls from the Wisp, and then you can purge GA from the Omni, but they already have a Chen. So maybe he's looking forward to getting the purge creep, like the small Satyr, purging the GA in the middle of fights.
Yeah. I mean, dispels are huge against Omni, but I just feel like the IO problem is the elephant in the room. It's that you get Ags, and you have this like 700 range buffer, where if they get closer to you, it's kind of bad for IO. But if they stay on that like mid to long range, IO just out damages everybody. So you need stuff that can gap close against him, right?
Oh, for sure.
So what do you do?
I honestly don't know. This is
pressure him?
Secret won the toss. They took first pick. I feel like at the start of the tournament, I lean second pick favorite, but now with the onset of these heroes like Wisp, that it feels like ET, like Alchemist, you don't want to play against them under any circumstances. And Kuro's hopefully going to surprise us, because thus far I don't think anyone's figured out Wisp, at least at the main event stage.
Yeah, there's all the heroes that you can think about jumping in. I don't think deal enough damage, right? Like you can take an Ember or a Storm per se, right? They jump this Wisp, they're not going to kill him. And they're just going to kill whoever jumps this Wisp right now, which makes this hero so scary, especially with Omni Knight. He's so tanky. He goes, the build's been Helmet Dominator, Ags, Heart. And he has like 3k HP. He's going to have a Heavenly Grace, you know, another 300 HP, 50% status resistance.
Well, one upside is that most of the IO games we've seen, they're also paired with Elder Titans. So not only gave them a good laning stage, because Elder Titan can become so fast with Astral Spirit, but also because he amplifies the spirit damage that's dealt. So maybe there's a laning option here. Could see that.
I like the Earth Spirit in theory, just because you provide like the most possible lockdown of any 4 position. And we've seen too many times now these carry Wisps living with 10, 20% HP, and boom, they tether away to a teammate at light speed, and they survive. When you have an Omni Knight as well, the more lockdown and silence you have, the better, because you're going to be playing again. If you only have like a Ravage to play around, right? Then all of a sudden this Omni Knight, if he can just juke the Ravage and then grace somebody, one of his cores, they get a BKB off, suddenly you're winning this fight because there's no more lockdown remaining. This allows you to at least initiate and perhaps be able to 100-0 a core while CCing one of these incredibly versatile support heroes, which again could be a core for all we know.
So that's most likely the 5, right? That's probably a Puppy Witch Doctor, I think.
Yeah, most likely. Very effective against Tide. You can't dispel off Maledict, and then he also transitions to killing solo cores later on.
Yeah, I love the Lesh pick. I mean, you know me, this is my favorite hero in Dota. I think the Disco Pony is perfect here. You love playing it against Wisp because you just get in and you do tons of AoE damage. Wisp naturally is going to be positioned around other allied heroes. Leshrac does arguably the most AoE possible in Dota 2. And in addition, it's one of 2 heroes Secret's played more than 10 times this year that they have over 90% win. And I know Liquid's picked it up, but my point is simply that Secret have abused heroes like Lesh, like Enigma, this early tower pressure throughout the entire year. The winningest team thus far in this circuit. And I think Liquid now have this excellent teamfight composition, and they're going to be able to push the tempo. Perhaps Roche into racks in like 20 minutes if they get ahead.
So Secret picked OD, which is kind of not the like steroid type of mid people pick with the carry list. They've been picking Gyro, Windrunner. I think Troll Warlord was ran by OG as well. They pick these heroes that usually attack fast, right? Or attack multiple targets. So that the Wisp, if they go late game, the Wisp is also going to be a threat. So this is a little more old school, I think. The Omni OD is like a year or 2 old.
It's a throwback for sure.
Yeah. Back when it was Magic Community, right, on Repel.
Yeah.
Do you think this signals that they might outrun IO as a carry?
I don't think they can run it as a support right now. They have no stuns besides like Casket. And if there's like BKBs going, this OD is going to do nothing.
Yep.
And so they need this like support that either has some short cooldown on stuns. Maybe they can even run like a Lion 4 or something along these lines.
And I don't usually see Secret. Like they're the team that popularized Enigma. Like Yapsor is 28-2. Or the team's 28-2 on the year. And you look at this, you have nothing against BKBs. Absolutely nothing. So their last pick's going to have to be able to, I assume, do some kind of physical damage. Otherwise, like is really Wisp OD as your 1 and 2? That's very ambitious.
Like the Wisp can turn into like physical at once 25, but before 25, you're mostly about balls. So your Ags tethering to a core with your heart, so he can hit high ground, but what core do you tether?
Yeah, and look at Liquid's lineup. That's not a draft that's looking to go to 45 minutes. They're going to be probably peaking in terms of like the lineup's gold efficiency usage around 20, and a Shaker offlane, mid, support.
Carry.
Yapsor's hero, perhaps?
Midone played at mid the other day against the...
Miracle's also played a carry for Liquid. So Secret kind of taking, they're looking at other people's notebooks. They took the Wisp from OG. They could take the carry or Shaker from Liquid.
This is their counter pusher, right? That's one thing that Secret's lineup is super missing, actually.
Yeah, it's true. And I feel like I'm leaning towards it's a Yapsor Shaker because they've been wanting to last people. Oh, jeez.
So at the last major, I think Liquid picked this versus LGD, the Meepo versus OD matchup. And the matchup, I think, was hard for the OD, but the Meepo crushed him after 15 minutes.
Yep.
He can Astro 1, and then he just goes down.
Liquid have won every game in this lower bracket with these weird last picks. This is another one, and it's a weak comfort pick. Like, I love this draft. Secret's got an uphill battle.
Well, right before we throw it to the casters, let's toss it over to Nahaz for the last word.
So much of this series is going to be defined by a matchup between 2 dynamic core position players. Miracle and Nisha already staking their claim statistically as 2 of the best players ever in LAN competition. Kills per minute, Miracle 9.4. That is almost a full kill over any other player out of the 244 players with 100+ appearances all time. These 2 players join Ramses as the only other in the top 5 in career GPM and experience per minute and win rate, both of them in the top 10. Nisha in only his first year with Secret. Hero-wise, we got that core IO potentially in the hands of Secret, undefeated here in the main event, but Liquid counter with Meepo. We 26 career wins on Meepo, most in Pro Dota 2 all time. We got one hell of a match coming up to you. Who better to bring it to you? Back in NA, they're the pride of the Pacific Northwest, but they're spitting straight fire on the stage in Shanghai. Here are Lyrical and Trent.
Thank you so much, Nahaz. And yes, Trent, a legendary matchup we got coming up right now. Liquid, Secret, tale as old as time. How you feeling, my man?
Absolutely fantastic. We're here. I like what Kyle said. Liquid, they haven't dropped a game. Through the lower bracket, the same story as the previous year. Something about the upper bracket is for people in britches, I think he said, Miracle. It was something along those lines. Either way, they're here again, and this time they're taking on Team Secret.
Amazing stuff. Yeah, I think that a lot of people, again, you might forget that Liquid was the TI7 winners with all the emphasis that was given over to LGD and OG last year. These guys came in fourth, they put on a very solid performance, but now needing to make it happen yet again for themselves. And of course, Secret finally able to overcome that hurdle of not making it past the 5th, 6th spots. Both teams, a lot to prove. They got to do it here on the big stage in Shanghai.
Yeah, they found themselves into a matchup versus this newly rejuvenated Liquid. And it features our friend Mr. Weehaw, and the hero that first made him famous, right?
Yeah.
The Meepo. And perhaps infamous, however you want to put it, but Weehaw showed up on the map because of this lovely group of heroes. And you ban his TA. Sure, he's been playing that a lot, but the Meepo is where his heart truly resides.
And I mean, this is really a good Meepo game. You look at this lineup, and Earthshaker, always something that you get a little bit concerned about, but there are a lot of heroes that are around to protect them. We'll have to wait and see, as already a little bit of a battle looking for these bounty runes. Puppey throws out the cask and able to steal away that bounty. So 3 going the way of Secret early on, as Mind Control still taking a lot of damage there, but will be able to pick up the bounty rune and then salve up afterwards.
Yeah, this Earthshaker, it's kind of like that classic, like, noob counter almost of like versus the Broodmother, where you're like, oh, I'm gonna Echo Slam all these spiders. Surely this will be good.
That casted out bounce, and Puppey now in some trouble as the punch down comes from Curl. Fairy Fire to heal back up, eats his way through the trees, and that's enough to get the captain away.
Ooh, keeping it nice and easy peasy there from Niche on that core IO. As, yeah, this match, we heard Gunnar talking about it as well, where into that mid and late game, that's where this Meepo versus the OD's really going to shine. Meepo, of course, a hero that loves to build just stats all around, and doesn't really fall too hard prey to the sanities unless mid one gets like super farmed, right?
Yeah, that is definitely a problem. Mid one starts to build a lead. This hero's so good at snowballing. Lane we haven't really talked about as of yet is Miracle and GH down bottom. That Earth Spirit and Leshrac trying to stand up against the Omni Knight. As Weehaw, again, going to take some of those pot shots. But yeah, kind of an interesting little roll-in as we see Zai just going to waltz away.
Yeah, at the same time, mid lane, they're threatening with Yapsor here. Weehaw getting pretty low. Just waiting to see if they can find that one moment. The Astral was just coming up here. Need the block off.
They have the setup for this perfectly with the Banishment running out. It's going to be the walk over from Yapsor and First Blood drawn by the Earthshaker.
As is tradition for Yapsor, he will take the most gold possible at the very beginning of the game. And that's fully completed Tranquils, I believe, for him right now, actually. Already this early, not opting for those earlier Soul Ring builds.
Okay. We'll have to watch and wait and see how that goes for him, but obviously in this top lane as well, Nisha and the Witch Doctor's going to try and lay out whatever damage they can, but there is a wraparound that's coming up top as well, as we do see Yapsor move over into position to try and save Puppey, who again was just taking a beating.
Puppey's just like, can I please just get to level 2? I can get this double heal action going on where you can really abuse some mechanics. But he's struggling to get there. Just one more creep. Oh, okay. Life's good now. Oh, and we'll have a pause just to consider exactly. Of course, we got some sort of a technical issue there for the teams that they'll work on. But yeah, Secret keeping the cards close to their chest throughout that draft, right? Some questions of exactly what was going to happen with this IO as they started picking through their heroes. You weren't exactly sure where he was going to wind up. Is he going to be the core? Is he going to be the support? It was kind of sketchy throughout it, but then with that final pick in the Earthshaker, they did fully confirm that it would be this core IO once again. And you heard Sunbi say after their first game earlier today while they were playing it, he just said, yeah, you know, it's Nisha. He can play it, so we play it.
Totally.
Very, very firm response.
I mean, that's the thing, right? Is like, it sometimes just comes down to that. The player feeling confident on a particular hero saying, I can do this, I can win for my team, understanding the matchup and making it happen. You can see already 79% win rate here at this tournament for the IO. That is absolutely insane.
IO and Alchemist. Whew. I don't know. I look forward to seeing if someone can defeat it, because for me, this core IO has just looked ridiculous. As far as I know, the core IO hasn't lost. It's only been support IO that's taken the nosedives there, mostly with like IO Gyro and stuff, who isn't quite the same matchup it used to be.
No, definitely not. And I think a lot of that comes down to the change of the Aghanim Scepter talent. But, you know, these core players, they're saying, all right, let's just pick up that Aghanim Scepter, get ourselves farming away like crazy, and then eventually we're going to be able to take over this game. Oftentimes, though, that does sort of go hand in hand with a lot of other heal, which is why you're seeing that Witch Doctor get taken here for the Voodoo Restoration later on, as well as the Omni Knight having some more spam out there of the heals and status resistance and all that other good stuff.
Mm-hmm. And we talked a lot about Secret's draft, but on the side of Liquid too, I feel like I haven't seen GH play Earth Spirit in a while. He was picking up at Epicenter, but at least I haven't caught any of his games here where he's been on the hero, but this is one of his big ones, right? This is like his top 3. I think he's even played it more than his Keeper of the Light, which is one of those like most iconic ones that you even think about when it comes to GH. So The man's got a mean green machine, and currently after Zai there, whew, the blocks.
Seeing if they can get the rundown, but it's not quite going to happen. They have the split earth afterwards if they manage to hit it. But Zai just gets on his little tippy toes and walks away. Ain't no problem.
And yeah, those tranquils do indeed get delivered to Yapstar in the mid lane, so gonna use that newfound speed to rotate around here.
Weehaw comes in with his other Meepo and able to try and scare some of those last hits, but so far mid one 13-6, just giving him the business here in the mid lane. And Arcane Orb trade-off there as Yapstar moves into position. They killed off Zai elsewhere.
Yeah, we were watching mid, of course, because you can see they're obviously going for that gank, but looks like Zai goes down after salving back up. Had only used one more tango, so hadn't quite gotten back up to full HP there, and Miracle finds the kill with GH.
Weehaw definitely knows that Yapstar is over here. He has not shown back up one of the other lanes and can anticipate that this movement is over from the Earthshaker, but mid one not wanting to go fear of reprisal. And Io up top.
Yeah, got quite a bit of harass onto him, but in the end, you have to get that like perfect chain stun lockdown happening there. As long as you know he has the tether up, there's not a whole lot you can do.
Absolutely. Picking up that ring of Silius as well as Yapstar again going to make this move up here towards the north. The pull gets off, and Yapstar trying to make things happen. Was able to get that early kill, but now kind of just regulated to running around with Tranquils trying to make stuff happen.
Yeah, he's gonna check the rune. GH rolled all the way home, and so he's now gonna TP back down to the bottom shrine and then roll to check the bottom rune. And the 50-50 coin flip goes the way of Yapstar. Secures a haste rune in the top and immediately starts rushing his way there. Pretty fearsome trio. He wants to try and find something.
Could be nice for him. Already getting the spirits rolling, but he's heading back towards mid again. So yeah.
It looks like he's trying to find Kuro, right? He's checking inside that Radiant jungle. He's like, are there stacks from here? What are they doing? But Kuro, well, he's in the Dire jungle, and he is actually spotted by an observer ward, so they do know that he's up here.
Yeah. Soaking up some of that experience. Kuro already level 3 on the Chen. Off to a hot start. Has that headdress as well. So he is pretty farmed. And right now, it's mainly just Yapstar that's sitting bottom of the pack in terms of levels. Just level 1 still.
And you're going to have mid one take over in terms of the net worth. I know the last hits are back and forth, but you got yourself a Meepo who's in the jungle, right? So as much as we see the last hits being close, you know that you're getting more when you're getting those lane creeps as long as the numbers are even. The problem is soon the numbers unlikely to be even, right? Great denies there from mid one to try and slow down the XP gain of the Meepo, which is always important, but it's Meepo time. He's already stacking camps right now in that jungle.
And that's why you see the trade-off there of 3 bounty runes over as well for just the 1. Of Secret. More emphasis on the lanes, it feels like, for Team Secret, while Liquid taking advantage of the other resources around the map. And Mind Control level 4, the first wave of catapults coming in, and Chen in the area does feel like they could get a little bit aggro.
He's putting a message down. Observer ward. We're going to be busy up here. That's what that says.
In the meantime, though, just tethered up with Puppy. They're not really that afraid, and the overcharge comes out. While the cast bounce hits onto a creep. Very long timer on the stun for that one. And again, relatively so Sart. Does it feel like you need to get a lot done with the Chen early on at this point in time?
I would say it's almost like the 3 heroes almost feel that pressure of the Earthshaker, the Earth Spirit, as well as the Chen, right? Witch Doctor sitting in lane feels good. That's what you do. Keep my carry going. But these other heroes, like you feel like you have this potential, you know? So when I'm not making these big plays, I get a little bit dismayed. I don't know if they are right now, but they understand their game plan, right? They're most likely playing for that 10-minute mark where we have the double tome come out. There's not as many concerns as there used to be for getting that XP with the double tome for supports like this. So probably just going to be a little bit of a slow one here as Meepo, at least because of that, is going to get a lot of space to farm in the jungle.
And you did see no boots built for Weehaw, going for the quad Wraith Bands, picking up one of those couriers, since they did have the wards spotting out the direction of their jungle. And still only 200 gold behind the OD after this laning stage.
Yep. So what I do like about the Shaker versus the Meepo in this sort of a matchup, though, will be if he can just get a Fisher block onto the Meepo and just give like a little bit of space to the OD, that standings is still gonna be big, right? Okay. We talk about like Meepo does buy a bunch of stats, sure, but he mostly buys Ed. You know, maybe the Scythe and Savvy get a little bit of int here and there, but you're stacking quad Wraith Bands right now, so there is a chance if mid one gets those big items that he can still blow them up. But the problem is if Meepo gets the initiation, it's gonna be bad news bears.
Yeah, particularly around like that hex timing or whatever. And Weehaw's completely been obstructed so far, it feels like. Mind Control still sitting back, can hold on to this lane, keep it under pressure and make sure that they don't get too much onto the tower as Kuro in a little bit of trouble with the Maledict down, the Paralyzing Cask as well. Chase comes with the heal. Good Fissure to interrupt. They still try and run him down, but they pulled in Miracle, and that's going to be enough to find the kill onto Puppey. Though Kuro will fall, both captains go down.
Yeah, good Fissure there to cause the balls just kind of like stack up like that, right? It was like bam, bam, bam.
Yeah.
Clapped it onto a couple of them there with the help of the Maledict.
Another nice part of that Shen, of course, is the ability to pull in heroes. And, well, Puppey, you came to the wrong neighborhood, mister. Is
Guys,
Liquid just going to run at him.
They might have a ward. Just throwing it out there. It was nighttime, so I think he thought he was safe from the creep vision. And instantly punished there. So that's going to be some tower pressure. And they do have BSJ's boy in the dead lane. It's the Tide. I mean, you plant this guy there, most dangerous part of the map. That's where teams maybe like to rotate down, trade that tower. Tide, he's going to be okay.
Yeah.
He can set up for the counter rotation because you're using that Chen, like you pointed out, to bring a hero in. What does that mean? That hero still has a teleportation scroll. So you try and go on this Tide Hunter, he gets that Kraken off, and suddenly, release the Kraken. Y'all get comboed by his allies TPing in.
Release the Kraken indeed. Ravage, obviously a terrifying ability at these early goings. Kuro can do that pull-in if they need to, if they want to defend that tier 1 tower. But for now, at least, Liquid just going for a little bit of an invade of the jungle as they find Nisha coming back in.
Oh, he's slippery.
With that relocate, and now the chase down coming from Zai as they look to try and follow this one. Paralyzing Cask only going to connect on the Miracle, but that might be a nudge because, well, the rest of Secret is here.
Yeah.
And they kill him off.
Close to finding that kill on the Nisha, just not able. He like tried to next level the play, I think, with the split earth. The Nisha just went like right towards the Leshrac, thinking hopefully he doesn't stop his own feet. So they instantly deward the Observer that was there to try and keep an eye on Nisha farming because they know how the strategy works. They've seen several teams do it. He just wants to be in this little triangle, or, well, I guess it's quad. Of course, we usually think of the triangle down here.
Right.
This can be a rhombus or something. I don't know. I need some geometry classes. But either way, that's where he's going to be. Trapezoid. I think it's a trapezoid. I'm going to go with that.
You're so good at math.
Thank you. I'm a geography, which is very close to sounding like geology. Wait, what? That's not the right one either.
It's beautiful.
Geometry. I knew I had it.
So 3-3 so far. It is kind of an interesting little dynamic too, using that relocate to be able to get back to base, pick up some more items. Of course, now Nisha having that completed Helm of the Dominator, he's just going to start running around and finding GH. Pearl Boulder not going to quite get there in time to interrupt, but it will still punch.
What a strat. Anna, what have you done? I mean, this Mud Golem is just hoofing it. Look at him go.
He's a monster. It's a terrifying.
It kind of looks like Slacks when he's late to a segment. That's pretty much how he runs around the arena.
You're not wrong. Oh, God. Well, already the Kaya completed now for the OD. Miracle in the mid lane, trying to push this one out another time. And again, you look at this lineup, wanting to make stuff happen early. You've got the 4 points up in Diabolic. You've got the Chen creeps there to help soak up damage as they are going to rotate now. Move Zai into the area, and that kind of puts the kibosh on the pressure.
Well, I feel like Zai's been playing down there for a long time, too, with mid one, right? Where they were maybe hoping to force this tower, couldn't find anything up top. Now Puppey forced the toss of the Maledict.
A little bit of a net moving in. They will finally collapse there onto the Witch Doctor, who will just get dropped. Weehawk finding the final touch.
And they're still pressuring mid. I mean, they're grabbing a kill up top, but it's not necessarily slowing down the rest of Liquid. They are keeping that Edict pressure on. They say, bring all of your heroes or we're not stopping.
Moving in for it. Do they get the deny? At the very least, they will. Omni Knight Zai makes it happen. Now the Magnetize onto several. You have the Heavenly Grace, but mid one just drops. They find the kill, and now Zai trying to turn this one back around. Miracle is still living with a decent mana pool. Echo Slam connecting, but it's not enough damage. Weehaw lives through it. They roll through again, and Liquid making it happen. They take down Yapsor as well, possibly running through the trees, trying to run away. They know he's in there, and the net's eventually going to find the kill.
So GH winds up with the double kill as he takes Zion. Yapsor, Kuro gets the kill onto mid one, and Weehaw takes the kill onto Puppey. So Secret dropping all over the map. And they, you know, not even just tier 1 tower damage, they're going to take some damage onto tier 2.
I mean, this is...
hello? Anybody?
This damage coming out from Meepo at this stage of the game. They just use Echo Slam. This is 11 minutes now as they pressure onto this tier 2 tower.
I mean, Mind Control's still sitting here with Ravage.
Haven't had to use it.
They know there's no sanities.
The net.
This is looking like some Alchemist Dota.
It is a monster. They just take that tower back out afterwards.
Oh, pressure on YapzOr, I think, this game to try and get that blink. I mean, the blink's not an end-all, be-all sort of an item here, of course, versus the Meepo. You still need a lot of follow-up damage, but he is racing towards it, already up to 1,250 gold.
I mean, in a way, it just feels like the bigger thing he needs too is just levels. Like getting up to that level 2 Echo, if at all possible, which is obviously a far away. He's the lowest level in the game, though. You just don't have the control or the damage to deal with it. And another tower taken.
I feel like I see a bunch of Liquid gather around a tower and it falls, and then instantly they're just somewhere else. Yeah. Right? This Chen, he still has Divine Favor ready for any of these Meepos if he needs it. GH is actually going to TP top to try and support Weehaw, but he doesn't even need it. He just solo killed Nisha.
Dude, this is...
That's a lot of gold.
This is disgusting. They're just running it over and over. And again, this is before that first big item comes from Weehaw. When he gets the E-Blade, the amount of damage that you pick up on it is absurd.
I am definitely a big fan of the position 1 Leshrac, something that China's been doing quite a bit over the past couple months, right? They love to flex this hero across all the roles and all the lanes. I mean, this guy, probably the only true hero I feel like that can be played 1 to 5 right now. And it feels good to me. It's just the ability to pressure like this and just take down towers with such ease gives you so much strength into that mid game if you can keep it.
Fissure for what? As Liquid take a 5,000 gold lead at 13.5 minutes. They have not taken their foot off the pedal, and Secret have not come up with an answer. Well, now the question becomes, where do you go from here? Possibly up towards that tier 1 tower, I guess, invade the jungle. Do you need to set up for Roche this early?
Right, well, we're getting a little...
What the hell do you do?
Secret, they know. They've seen the IO, right? Okay. We've had games exactly like this. The first games that the carry IO came out, I heard Grant and Kyle and BSJ, and they're just like, guys, they're really losing with this core IO. How does this thing work? And, well, eventually it kicked into place, right? Once you get the level 15 talent, once you have the Aghanim Scepter, those are massive tools to actually get some damage out from this hero. So, Secret, they're trying to get there as fast as they can. Taking away this space is super important because knocking down towers makes it harder for Nisha to farm, so that's partly why he's so far down on the net worth chart.
This is so important right here as well. Moving in and taking the first Roshan.
There's no way they're getting in on this one.
I mean, the Meepo being able to pick up this Aegis is just so key. And actually, Puppey might just die. He's getting hit by an illusion. You can poof onto those afterwards. As Puppey going to get controlled up for the moment, as GH still has him in his sights, and they're going to be able to poof in afterwards if they want. Yeah. As Roche already goes down, Weehaw finds Puppey, and now an Aegis, an E-Blade. Weehaw is doing whatever he damn pleases.
All right, so E-Blade, this game, what do we have? YapzOr, oh, he's still 400 gold away-ish from that Blink Dagger, so Planetfall, gonna have to figure it out pretty soon here. They want to stay in this one. Mid one's BKB, gonna be a good tool to try and actually fight into these engagements. He's still gonna be backed up by Zai there on the Omni. He's trying to split push, get away from this, but you can see, I mean, I think 37% is a little generous considering like the pace at which Liquid are going, but that's basically the idea of respecting the high ground, right? It is hard to go high ground versus some of these heroes. But mostly it's just hard to not give away big streaks as Zai.
I mean, look at this damage that comes out. He's just going to get rooted afterwards. They have the E-Blade there, continuing to control this Omni Knight as he tries to hide away. And I don't think that this juke is eventually going to work as they find Zai and kill him off. I mean, right now, the Meepo has 150 damage base. That's more than any of the heroes on Secret. And he's got a bunch of them. He's got more than a few, Trent.
Yeah, he's got a whole crew. Oh, the whole crew also going to run into mid one here. Who it's
not again. Mid one trying to run. Mind control. He can chase down with the Ravage if he wants to. He knows there's no Astral. Mid one in a pickle as they run him down. Ravage going to be used. Split Earth afterwards. This is destruction.
I am a fan of that Ravage. Don't give him any opportunity for some big sanities on you because you got 27 int right now. No thanks. Finish it off, set up the Split Earth easy, take us high ground, and you know that guy's going for a BKB. He just bought out.
They are owning and taking down the tier 3 tower. Nisha just hoping to try and hold off, if at all possible. Still 500 gold away from that Aghanim Scepter on the IO as Liquid hit their timing just that much harder.
Wow, I can't wait to see how strong IO Aghanims is. Because if it can bring you back from this, it is truly busted.
And they're trying, they're hoping. They're waiting. Creeps are coming in just a moment, and Weeha still holding on, not at all afraid.
I mean, Nisha is relocating to farm waves.
Okay, the fissure already thrown out. They used the Death Ward, but there's nothing there for the follow-up. Astral used as well. Now mid one in a lot of trouble as they're healing back up from the ransack. They're not doing enough damage. Is it quite enough? They can't even kill him off once. Hand of God comes out. Secret is getting completely run over.
The balls are online.
Are you kidding me? Possibly. They need it. They need it right now more than anything. The roll through as well. Zai, they try to take down Weeha. He is going to pop. But in the meantime, Secret now. Can you kill him a second time? Round 2. Ding, ding, ding. And Secret not ready for the fight.
He's trying to drive them back, but indeed they will have to just give up that mid lane of Rax.
Zai gets the deny at least. Some small
Oh, Liquid? Oh, okay. I like this. They want to test it themselves, I think.
All right.
How good is this thing? You know, what can Nisha really do here? They don't have Ravage. They do have the pipe, though, on mind control. And I believe, as you saw earlier in the IO game, it was about 90% of the damage from Nisha was magical.
It's a scary moment. They're scouting with that Helm creep. And again, how often have we seen teams fall to the high ground push?
Well, they didn't fall that time.
That's
for
true
sure.
enough.
But there will be some more high ground pushes out here from Liquid.
And I think that's why you see Liquid hold back there. You know, wait for your next round of items to come online. They've already got a 10,000 gold lead. They've got the Aegis a while ago. They're ready to go again.
Yeah, next big items will be the BKB for Miracle, so he can try and play up in the fights alongside Weeha, who is going for that Scotty to give him some more balanced stats here.
Uh-oh. Mr. Zai. They don't quite catch him, but Weeha now spots him out, and the root's going to be there. Zai is also going to be in trouble as they will just beat him down into the ground. Team Secret just getting rolled on by GH and Liquid as a whole. They came to play today.
Oh, they did indeed. Is Nisha still just struggling? I mean, he's the big thing, right? You just want to see, can he get to 15? Can he add that additional spirits damage there?
It's gonna be a grind, but it does feel like this possibly could be the answer for the IO draft.
Oh, just play Meepos?
Just hit harder.
play faster is certainly, I think that's what we saw tried earlier today too, right?
Yeah.
Well, actually, that's not true. I thought they were going to try and play faster, and then they last picked a Medusa, so that was not what was attempted by Vici Gaming. Liquid kind of flipping that last pick here with the Meepo instead, and indeed playing very fast. I mean, they kind of telegraphed it even with the Leshrac and the Chen, right? If you knew what was coming here. No surprises for Team Secret.
Well, right now, IO about 800 experience away from getting that level 15 talent, and he is going to TP back now to try and help.
There's a tome in the base. I think it's his.
Yeah, that's what that's going to be.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Puppy. Oh, Puppy even buys for him. Wow. The support life, I tell you, in a pro game is really rough.
I mean, you got to do what you got to do, right? In this game, very emblematic of things being rough. Well, I mean, does it really even make that much of a difference
I don't know. I want to say no, but I don't want to doubt this thing anymore.
You've been burned one too many times by the core IO. I mean, it's a Scotty done on Weeha right now. He is so far ahead. Another 5,000 gold item above the next core on Team Secret.
There's just really big timings coming up, right? The BKB, the next Aegis, all of that should be coming together for Liquid. I don't think anything in that same window will be as powerful for Secret now the IO has already reached level 15.
Right.
So if you're Liquid, you just hold out, control the plateau, keep both those mid and top lanes going in your favor, control Secret, use the lanes for information, as well as these great wards, by the way, that are just outside the Secret base, right? It is spotting exactly what they're trying to do. They know when they're going up top of farm. You can see they're trying to de-ward right now from Secret. Maybe wondering exactly how Liquid know what they're doing.
Yeah. I mean, you need to just try and reestablish map vision, if at all possible. But so tough to make happen against this lineup.
And yeah, Miracle nearly into that BKB. Mind control now with the Blink Dagger there too on that Tidehunter. And even GH has almost completed his BKB.
Yeah, this is terrifying. They have it on the OD, like you're talking about, but it doesn't feel like it's really going to be enough at this point. They need the Sanity's Eclipse to be huge. Yapsor is getting closer to that level 12, which again could make a bit of a difference, but that's predicated upon Meepo being in a position where he's going to get echoed poorly.
I mean, for reference, he's got what, 100? He's got 112 in there. Quick maths, no problem. On the OD, and our Meepo's way up there. he's at 91. So it's like Sandys does nothing to me.
Yeah.
Is the point we're at here with all these. Like, it's little bits of int all the way, but it's still a lot more than most heroes get, especially most Agi heroes, right?
Yeah. Well, and now the one plus side of this, if your Team Secret...
You found a plus side. This I'm excited for.
So, oftentimes, you know, BKBs, they get countered by the Earthshaker because he's got that instant initiation. And now, speaking of which, YapzOr back behind. He can jump in if he wants to. Thinking about it, be sure to open up GH. The Echo Slam. Is it quite going to be enough? They have the Ravage to try and turn it. Weeha so freaking low, but not looking quite low enough. They do manage to kill him off, but they lose the Earthshaker and the IO. Mid one falling low. The Hemp Stomp, it connects as well as they all are getting torn apart. Nisha ended up buying back into this fight, and Miracle trying to take him down. Is it going to be quite enough? Yule Scepter left up at the very last second to keep Miracle alive. Puppey wanting to take down the mid from Liquid, and he does die to the Maledict. 3 gone. Zai, the last one left alive, but the buyback comes. They know there are buybacks coming from Secret.
Jeez, Puppey played his heart on that fight. He actually did so much damage on the Witch Doctor, 4,798. He was only second to the OD.
And now the jump forward looking for a bit more. They've gone a bit too far, though. There's a fissure to open it up. They find the rolling boulder stun forward, and
they can't do it again. It's too much.
It's far too much. Weeha taking a lot of damage.
He's got 27.
He's trying to make it work, but it's not quite there. YapzOr needs another fissure. The chase forward, looking for the finish, and my man mid one with one last Astral, desperately trying to hold on. He does manage to get the walk away again, but the root's there. Turn around the BKB. He's actually living through this one. Mid one, can he do it? The right click's coming through. It's all too much damage. And Weeha can just walk away again.
It is very cathartic to watch this IO strat be defeated by a Meepo with 30 HP regen. I'm not gonna lie. They just don't have the damage. If they don't have all of their tools available, there's no way they're gonna kill him. And so you just see this Meepo living with the Divine Favor, and I'm like, you know what? It's a little gross, but I can live with that. If it's versus the IO, because that has been the bread and butter of this strat, getting the IO to that ridiculous agonist and then buffing someone up to a degree where they're just unkillable.
And right now, needing to come up with an answer to their own. Team Secret, Liquid just going to run into the pit and try and finish off Roshan. In the meantime, Nisha can go for some split push plays with the relocate, but this is another Aegis and now Cheese on Liquid as they find YapzOr, the one hero that was supposed to be a solace for them, but is not, as Miracle pops the BKB and is just going to walk at him. Secret don't really have an answer as they chase forward, find the splitter there, a quick jump in for the save coming from Nisha. As they get the fissure, the follow-up is there, a lot of damage onto Mind Control, who is starting to drop with that Maledict down, might be enough for the Miracle. Also, Barry fall forward, they do manage to bring down the latch.
It looks like MC will get out. Oh, Pearl's found.
Okay, and that follow-up.
They found themselves a fight without their Meepo. Perhaps Liquid just a bit too ahead of themselves. They're going for some kills. Of course, they do also have plenty of time left on this Aegis and Cheese, and you could even argue these guys are up there just ensuring that nothing was going to be interfering at the same time. So, not the worst for Liquid. Still, obviously, a gargantuan lead, but it is some solace for Secret to get a couple of kills here and know that they can bring down these heroes surrounding the Meepo.
Well, and again, it was a buyback that came earlier from the Meepo where they didn't manage to get the other set of racks. So possibly a way that you could see a path to victory with Secret having all of their abilities up. But again, there's a tier 1 tower mid. It's just so hard to keep the pressure on. And
so you don't have to kill him 4 times.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, okay, he's passed off the Cheese to Mind Control. So there you go. So Mind Control just making sure that he won't have any mana issues with the Sanities, I would reckon is one of the big reasons for this. He's even got a Mango now. Mind Control's got the big brain plays here. The Watermelon, the Mango's keeping a healthy diet for himself. And there is a smoke here from GH2 as they push out the lane. So yeah, they're going to pop that. Head towards the Dire Jungle.
Let's see what they can do. Liquid, at this point in time, wanting to hit Secret where it hurts and see if they can get that second set of racks.
Miracle in his natural habitat here, lying in wait. See if someone wants to poke at this wave and give him the old Yules.
Puppey walking around just cool as a cucumber. I would not be that cavalier with my movement if I was in this game, but, well, the jump forward, and that's why Ravage connects onto all of them. They are going to be able to find the silence afterwards onto Zai, so no hope for a save. GA comes out finally as they try and get a turnaround. Roll forward coming from GA to control the rest of the fight. The E-Blade is there to make sure that none of the Meepos go down. Zai is control. Liquid still running forward. A buyback comes from the Witch Doctor. But with no OD, Liquid have a path towards victory here.
Yeah.
They're going to take down another set of racks.
Get your IO strat out of my game. OD, no buyback. Weehaw, everything.
Find it everywhere you want. An ultra kill for Weehaw, who continues to just run ransack through this game. They're going to give him the rampage. No, stolen away by Miracle. He has to take one for himself this time around. As Liquid do not look phased in the least bit. No buybacks on any of these heroes. This is only Nisha and Yapzor left to defend. Tier 4 towers being assaulted. Ladies and gentlemen, stick a fork in him, because at least for this game, Secret are looking done as GG is called. My God, that was dominant.
Team Liquid. I can tell you, there's nothing we want to do more, I'm sure, than play Meepo on this stage. Brought back here again from the Shanghai Major. Last time he was up here and competing, and finds himself another victory. Liquid remaining undefeated as they move throughout the lower bracket.
I mean, that's really one of the craziest stories ever. Could you imagine the run? You think back again to this team's TI7 run, and it was the same type of thing, being dropped down so early on in the bracket and making that amazing run, and here even more so.
It's impressive to try and handicap yourself one round further. I have to give them credit. It does explain those group stage games.
Absolutely. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to see what happens in game number 2. But first, we got to head back to Shiva and the panel, see what they thought about that game number 1.
Yes, thank you very much, Trent and Lyrical. What a dominant performance from Team Liquid in game number 1 of this best-of-3 series. The winner will move on to be in the top 3 and, of course, in the lower bracket finals tomorrow. Loser will be eliminated 4th place. And before I'm going to let you guys break down the game and talk about these two teams, what are you doing? Oh,
I'm petting Mind Control's head. He did a good job.
Oh, okay, great. I'm actually looking forward to hearing what the draft panel thought on that first game. Hey, Kev.
Hey, so what was really important is that if you're trying to beat the IO, what you need to do is make the game accelerate in a big way and prevent him from getting gold. So what ended up happening was in this first team fight at the 7-minute mark, Kuro here on the Chen ended up teleporting in Lash. Lash is going to appear right here in a second, so keep an eye out for him. He pops in. He's now level 6 coming from the safe lane. He had a lot of golden experience that he got from being in a dual lane where he got to pressure the Omni. And after he got that rotation kill, he instantly starts pressuring the lane, which is really effective. And more importantly, he rotates around, Puppey TPs back in and gets killed instantly. So not only did he rotate into this lane, but he also set tempo by killing him and killing this tower immediately afterwards. That's a huge advantage because now they can move through the jungle. And with this jungle pressure, if you take a look over here, we ended up seeing a relocate coming from the IO. So what they're looking to do is trying to see which of these camps IO ends up coming back into, where the place that he ended up coming back to was over here. Miracle missed a crucial stun, but he instantly comes back from Fountain and he's already at like 40% health, which is going to decrease his farm speed. And he ends up dying in this, but it's still very good because if you look on the map, everybody else on Liquid is still farming. They're getting their gold and that's going to help them stay ahead of the IO. And now once he teleports back in, he's just running between the mid lane into the jungle to spot for the IO. They don't want to let him get any gold and he wants to keep putting Diabolic Edicts on this mid tower. So he keeps doing that and that's going to force secret rotations. At the end of this clip, the Omni Knight ends up having to teleport here and they use their glyph. So, in the next rotation over, look how many heroes are here. It's Miracle, and it's a support. And when this fight starts, Meepo TPs. They're doing this tower push, and they kill the tower with just 2 heroes. It ends up going well for them. They kill the OD, and now they're just in a rundown situation. So they end up staying ahead, killing all the outer towers, and that means that the IO just doesn't have a place on the map to farm. And that's why he wasn't able to snowball this game.
And the draft utilizes gold so efficiently. They're going high ground at 18 minutes. There's no Ags on the Wisp. They have a pipe, they have a mech. Meepo has 3 Wraith Brands and an E-Blade. It's about as if, like, as far as peaking at a certain timing, the entire Liquid draft is built to crush by 20 minutes, and that's exactly what they did.
You can also see by Miracle's playstyle, they understand the Wisp a little. A lot of teams are kind of using the Wisp on Dire a lot better than Radiant because of how the jungle works with Spirits. You can pull 2 large camps much easier. So since he's a Radiant, he's playing in the Dire jungle and stopping him from farming.
Yeah, well, that's why they won the game. I'll send that back over to Shiva.
All right, thank you guys. Indeed, that IO did not work out the way that Team Secret was expecting to. And I mean, we talk a lot about the IO and we talk about the Chen. Weeha's Meepo definitely showed up on the main stage there too. And again, it was Weeha that got kicked right after the Shanghai Major. We haven't really mentioned that, but there's a little bit of beef there too. He got kicked right after winning the Shanghai Major, and apparently it was a rough one because it was 2 days or something before roster lock, and Weeha was forced to join a Misfits team of leftovers that, by the way, ended up coming second at the International. I feel like there's a trend here too,
Yep,
people
not
getting
bad.
kicked and or left out to dry. But a great performance by him, 12, 2, and 7 there, as you can see on his KDA.
Yeah, and I just love like how they did the lanes, right? Because usually you think about, oh, the 5's gonna go bottom, the 4's gonna go top. You had the Lesh Earth Spirit bottom, so you had kill potential. You had the Chen up top, so who went early head breath, no boots. So Tidehunter wasn't taking any damage because he always had the Ice Ogre. They just won both side lanes because they laned it perfectly.
And I'm glad we get a chance to really highlight Weeha's play in this, just because, you know, he's a player that has had his moments of brilliance, and then, like, especially with Digital Chaos and what happened afterwards, people may have assumed that, like, oh, that was, like, a one-hit wonder. This sort of mid-players are going to be able to come back into the Tier 1 scene again. But Blitz, you got a lot of opportunity with him. He can be kind of stubborn in his ideas about Dota, right?
Oh, yeah. He's maybe the most stubborn person I've ever met in my entire life. Like,
He
bar
doesn't
none.
look stubborn.
No, he is. He is. One time we did a scrim. I was like, Misery was like, "You got to talk to this boy. Like, I can't handle it right now." So he just leaves the room. And so I come to me. I was like, "Let's go outside and chat." And I was like, "You know what you did was wrong. Here's what he did. He bet a Midas on Quap. He died solo, and then he left the game in the middle of a scrim. We're like, I was like, you know you can't do that, right?" I was like, "It's not good." And he's like, "I know it's not good, but if you tell me it's not good, I'll think it's good." And I was like, what the hell kind of logic is that?
No,
and he said,
no.
my father's the same way. You see that car right there? It's red. If you tell me it's red, it's blue. 100%. That was the analogy he used. He refuses. If he thinks one way of Dota, he's going to, no matter what, you will not break his logic.
You think it changes now, though, that he's on a team with Chrome?
No.
You really don't think it changes?
He just told me that the car was blue. It was like a red Toyota. Like, you think that this guy cares?
Apparently not.
Reality doesn't matter. So surely somebody else's opinion
He has
about
to
Dota.
he has to come to the conclusion first, is what I learned. You can like sort of guide him and trick him in a little bit of a way.
Yeah.
Like I just started straight up lying to him, but like you can get him there.
Well, it feels like Kuro, you know, he's guided him to the right place, right? He's in the right mindset. He's lucky. He's happy.
I mean, they talked about it, right? He wanted that pure mid player, a player who plays these broods and these meepos. They just got a pretty much free game because it's Weeha instead of Matu.
Yeah, and that was only game 1. Now, I do think that this is one of the strats that, you know, Secret wanted to try out once, and I don't think they're going to see it again. It's one of the strats that OG has tried a lot, and everybody has tried to theorize, like, what do you do against this IO core? Like, we thought about it, executed its plan of strategy, and, you know, here we go. So I'm thinking Team Secret is going to come with something different for the next game.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I also don't think they're going to give Weeha the opportunity to get that Meepo as well towards the end of the draft. Even if they have an Earthshaker, like the support Earthshaker is going to be good enough. I thought there was a chance they might have actually switched over to Core Shaker just to try and address the Meepo a little bit better, but that wasn't the case. And now Liquid just one game away from eliminating Secret like they've done so many times in the past.
Time.
I don't know what happened between Puppy and Kuro, but maybe Kuro is holding still a bit of a grudge.
I think he might be, but we're going to take a short break because the International is full of surprises. We got another one for you. Special announcement coming up.
Long have my celestial brothers beckoned, but I abhor the blindness of the mortal plane. From the void, nothing escapes my notice. No secret lies beyond my grasp. Yet, soon I must finally step from my hidden bastion to wage battle alongside my brothers and save them for a greater cause to come.准备好，凡人们，很快将会惊天动地，而我的时代也终将来临。
true. Everybody was already saying, you know, at the start of the opening ceremony of TI, we saw the 4 colors, and it's like, well, we understand green, blue, and red, but what's that purple doing there? And the rumors are true. I'm happy. And it looks like he can teleport. I'm speculating. I felt like he can, maybe not necessarily teleport, but like go into another plane. What do you guys got?
Honestly, I can't wait for another Spirit that's better than Storm. So it's been a great it's been a great 4 years. Let me just say. Let me just throw that one out there.
Now it looks like it has some, you know, usually when you have like a weapon like PL or something, you're going to be a carry hero. So, you know, to all the carries out there, who knows? It's looking good for you, though, possibly.
I have heard a lot of carry players complaining that none of the new heroes none of the new heroes have been going their way. So
I think is that the voice actor? I think the Chinese stream actually has the voice actor for Void Spirit.
I think you might be right.
Very
yeah,
cool.
there was some question marks there, but yes.
And we have Cap.
I think you know, it would be making
the
sense.
Void Spirit.
You got a core and a support. You know, you got Snapfire and Void Spirit. What do you think of the name Void Spirit? Storm Spirit, Ember Spirit, Earth Spirit, Void Spirit.
Grant, I know you're a lore master.
Indeed.
What exactly is the Void?
The Void. It is a dark temporal plane that many of us human beings cannot go to.
Okay. So what is he doing in the Void? What kind of things are there?
I mean, just like every human, he has to eat food, right? He's got an oven, he bakes some cookies, lives a good life out there. You know, it's a normal guy.
He's just a normal guy in a different realm of reality.
Get away from me, Cap.
I can't believe on